everyone. Welcome back. It is another edition of AI Tools for Job Seekers. I'm Kirsten /Trap Recruiter, and I am here, of course, with my illustrious co-host Tia Tucker. She has changed her hair every week, so I love that. I love that for her. Meanwhile, she said I'm giving free to Callo, so yeah, there we go. I got the two headbands. but it's all good. If you've been here over the past, this is now episode 4. Today we're talking about the job search tools that you can use. Again, we are going to feature or showcase 4 of them. They include Adzuna, Talent Prize, LinkedIn, which a lot of you guys know, and Sonara. Last week was resume tools again. Week before, the first week was resume tools as well, but we wanted to switch it up a little on you. So I'm going to get started. I think I'm going to start with LinkedIn because I think a lot of people already know LinkedIn as a tool for job searching. Now, this is the disclaimer. If you have LinkedIn Premium, which I know a lot of you do, it is available to you. For those who don't know what LinkedIn Premium is but are interested, this is not an ad, but I do want to give you the price as I have for other tools. It is $29.99 a month for LinkedIn Premium Career. So that's for you to be able to get more enhanced job searching and things like that. So while jobs was already a feature on LinkedIn, the AI-powered insights for jobs is a new tool that came out. And again, it is available only to premium subscribers, and it is available only in English. That's another issue. So I promise you, if you're watching this, you clearly understand English. So thank you, because I don't unfortunately speak any other languages to help you out. So the AI-powered insights for jobs is basically gives you personalized tips, advice, how to find the right jobs on LinkedIn. For the job postings, you can learn more about the role, more about the company. It helps you understand if you're a fit for the role. There are also trends in the industry that come with this. So it's just a matter of you asking it the right questions. So let's go back to a glossary word there, because we talked about prompts before, and I don't know if a lot of people know what a prompt is. So Tia, can you tell them what a prompt is?
I'll try. So with generative AI, you usually use prompts as a tool to essentially feed the algorithm information about what it is that you wanted to generate. Mm-hmm. So in one of the more popular right now, ChatGPT, you can enter in text as a prompt. You can, there are some where you can insert in videos or even images as a prompt, but the more specific you are, almost like when you're searching anything on the internet, you're Googling something, the more likely you are to get the information that you need. So something like using the ingredients in my kitchen, create a recipe, you will not get you anything, but using the ingredients in my kitchen that are tomatoes, lettuce, pickle onion, write me a recipe, you're more likely to get something that's related to what's in your fridge.
All right. So another thing, this is available on desktop or mobile. And for those who do use LinkedIn Jobs, you know that it is technically a separate tool or a separate app. LinkedIn Jobs is, you can navigate to LinkedIn Jobs from your LinkedIn, your standard LinkedIn profile, but LinkedIn Jobs is also an app that you can download. So you can get this on desktop or mobile. If you're going through, traditional LinkedIn, you click on the jobs icon at the top of your LinkedIn homepage. You click on a job posting you're interested in, and then there's a sparkle tool that says, do you want to use this AI tool prompt? And you're like, yeah, I want to use the sparkle pop-up window. and then you feel all happy and the unicorns come out and they help you with your job search. Yeah. All right. So what you do is you ask it a question, or you start a conversation related to a job post. I actually did it, and they actually give you, for those who aren't very familiar with what Tia just explained to you, that aren't familiar with prompts, they actually give you a prompt that you can either update to get you started off good, like, oh, it seems like, and they usually base it off of your current job title. So they're like, oh, here's, try this. So they'll say, hey, for me, I'll say, hey, ask it for jobs, for TA jobs in the Washington, D.C. area. So what I did was I asked it for remote jobs. I wanted to be specific, at this career level with this type of job, with this type of job title. And it returned stuff. And then it asked me if I wanted to refine my search. So I did that. But it's just a way that, the traditional way you usually go in, you type, I would like an accounting job in Washington, D.C. And it'll say career level. Then it'll ask you to filter additional things. This is basically doing the search query for you based on what you asked it. So you don't have to type in those things specifically into certain boxes. Here's what I'll say. Again, some of the drawbacks is that it is only available to premium subscribers. So that's already going to be a little bit cost prohibitive for people who are specifically looking for jobs that are not currently employed or who don't have the extra bandwidth cash wise to be able to pay for that. But there are demographics that can get, like free trials for their job search for however long. I know a bunch of influencers who give away on occasion free LinkedIn premium subscriptions, and then maybe try it out for a month, ask for a free trial for a month or for 10 days or for whatever the case may be, and try it that way. I know veterans specifically are able to have it for free for a year during their transition period whenever they decide to elect it. So there is an opportunity for folks to try it out who want to and who can afford it, and even those who, like I said, it's not necessarily in your budget. So that was one drawback. The other was, and so here's the thing, they're transparent about this, that it was already using AI technology. So basically, like, they just kind of enhanced it a little bit more. So I did like that. It does use Bing. So because LinkedIn is a Microsoft product, it's actually using Bing. So it's like you're going on Google or you're going straight to Bing and asking it the same question. It's pulling from that information, from that library of information and terms. And then it's searching jobs on LinkedIn. Okay, so the jobs that are posted on LinkedIn, it's not, which is a good deal, a good amount of them. But again, it's LinkedIn specific to folks who have posted a job there. All righty. Yeah, I think that's my only drawback. And then my biggest plus is that there's a lot of articles that you can read more about, a lot of best practices, a lot of additional tools in the professional suite, as well as they're constantly updating their privacy notices. Like, I did a search last week and I did one this week, and even the articles had updated for additional information since then. So they're keeping it 100% current. Shout out to LinkedIn. No one ever thought I'd do that. I usually have bad news when it comes to LinkedIn, but this was all good news.
She's being nice. Okay. Is that all for LinkedIn AI? Okay.
That's all.
That's all. Something that Kirsten mentioned, you noted that LinkedIn AI uses Bing. That is something that we know, but there are oftentimes instances that we will have no idea what the source of AI is for these different tools. So it's not necessarily a bad thing that Bing is being used, or not ChatGPT or something else. It's just that we actually know what that is. Another word that we might want to mention is hallucinating. So hallucination, when it's related to AI, is when the artificial intelligence gives you a response that's generated by prompts that may contain false or misleading information, but it's presented in fact. And so the term that's being used right now to describe those instances is called hallucination. So with anything you do with AI, always review and take as much agency as possible to before you let something apply for you or create a resume or whatever for you. The first tool that I have to review is Talent Prize. Is that how you say it? Or is it Talent Prize? Yeah. So this is a tool that is also more so used by recruiters and businesses, right? But they do have a specific area in their site that is just for job seekers. So um, I actually mentioned this to Kirsten that the tools that I have to review, I can't say I was blown away by them. We have other, job search tools to look at, but what I did like about Talent Freeze is that it tried to be as concise and specific as possible. It asks you questions before recommending jobs about your preferences. You give it information that it considers your biography, things about your actual your work history, etc. And then there's an assessment. This is the part that I didn't necessarily love. It can take like 10 to 15, maybe more minutes to get through the assessment part, which isn't a terrible thing. I'm sure it's helping, customize your search, but I didn't love that it took so long just to get through to the search process. One of the questions that I did note in the preference section, and this one is for Kirsten, it gives you the option to note whether or not you want your information to be available to only in-house recruiters versus all recruiters. I was like, oh, okay, that's specific. I've never seen anything that specific in any of the tools we're looking at. Talent Freeze is it gave me some options, and I feel like as a search tool, it's pretty useful. You just have to be prepared to sit through the process on the front end.
Was there a price for it?
I will say that so all of the tools for job seekers, just job seekers, they consider them free. Good. And there was no credit card wall, or it did not ask me any information about paying for anything, which is great. I also didn't see any terms, like there isn't, it's free for, 1 month, but it was behind a login wall. So you did have to sign up for it, which is, reasonable considering that it's asking you all this information about your preferences and stuff.
Nice. Did it have privacy statements? Like, we're not going to share your information?
I didn't see those up front. They are there on the website.
Okay.
For them, but they don't offer them up initially. But they do ask questions about privacy in general, which is, that's more than I've seen in some other instances.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right. So Adzuna. So I'm going to be a nerd on this one because I actually enjoyed Adzuna because it's designed similarly to a Monster.com or a Career Builder, the way that a recruiter would search for a job. The way a recruiter would search for candidates. So I like the way that they are, and I'm not sure that every single job seeker or the majority of job seekers are going to recognize that this is a lot of what recruiters are actually doing when they're filtering and when they're searching. Now, it's not using Boolean or anything like that, but it is giving a taste of that. So it felt very job search tool to me. Now, the drawback for this is that it seems to be like an Indeed And that's not a bad thing. Indeed is the top job board that job seekers go to search. The reason why we did not select Indeed and we did select LinkedIn is because, again, LinkedIn is specifically featuring their AI tool, and Indeed, while it does use AI technology, it does not necessarily say, hey, this is an AI feature now. So it was sort of like Indeed, where it's like, I'm going to use a word like a job aggregator that's pulling job postings from all over the web. So and that's difficult for job seekers to decide what's real, what's not, what's great, what isn't. So that was it. It's very intuitive in terms of their, like, you can search by industry, you can search by popular jobs, you can search by location. So industries, things like engineering, customer service, HR, and then you click on that, you click on your preferred industry, and then it gives you like some popular job titles in that industry. So it's really guiding you through the process to say, okay, in construction, these are the types of jobs that are popular right now. And you click on popular jobs, say, one I looked at, airport jobs. And it took me I clicked airport jobs, and it said, what airport locations are you most interested in? And then there's things like marketing, part-time, security, remote, my favorite. And like I said, it's guiding you to the next step. And then location's pretty self-explanatory. You can also, shrink it down by your geographic location. Like I said, that's another thing that I liked. I was like, oh, this feels like, when I go and look for people, like I want people within 50 miles of this location. Definitely desktop or mobile. And they also are an app. What they're also doing is they have features like top job titles, so top job types, top companies, that's a big deal, top locations, so the top locations for those jobs. They also give you stats, so there'd be like a running total of like how many engineering jobs are currently listed on this site, how many jobs in XYZ state, how many jobs in this industry. So they kind of keep a running tally of each specific job. Now, when you do click on a job and say explore or browse jobs, and you click on an actual job title, that's when you'll see where that job really came from. So it may not necessarily come from the company that is advertising the job. It could come from another job board like FlexJobs or like Indeed or even LinkedIn, something like that. So that's one thing to be mindful of. You might not necessarily, like, you might have already seen that job somewhere, and this might not be a new job. So that's one thing to be mindful of. But once you do that, it does give you stats on the job. So salary comparison, average salary, the top 5 companies. You can also sign up for hiring alerts. That seems to be the big push there. They want you to do that. Like, let us email you. Stop it. Like, every time you do something, they're like, you sure? You don't want to put your email address in? Are you sure? Are you sure? So you don't have to log in. You don't have to register, but they want you to. And my guess is that when you do, because I did not, you probably get better returns. Filter results. Again, you can sort by the things that are most relevant. Normally that's based on the job description or the industry or the location, depending on what you put in to browse. It does give you time. So the dates posted, like 24 hours, 3 days, last 7 days, so that you're not looking at older jobs if you don't want to. You can determine what salary you want. So from X amount to this amount, but please keep in mind that every company is not putting salaries on their job descriptions. You can search by remote, you can search by location, you can search by category, again, by company, employment type. So full-time, contract, and then the hours, full-time, part-time. So I enjoyed Edzuna. Like I said, just because it felt like something that I'm used to using on a regular basis in my job. All right, last one for you.
So the last one for me is Sonara.ai, and this is tricky. Okay, so when we were doing our research about different tools in our buckets, this one came up. Um, but when I was attempting to actually use it myself, the website just was giving me, I was like, something is not right. Okay. So in doing a little research, I learned but I cannot confirm that Sonara AI is on pause or potentially going to be sunsetted sometime in the near future. And so they are not accepting new um, subscribers or people using the tool. But some quick old facts, because I don't know what the new facts of it are. There was a free option behind a login or subscription wall. It was short term though, and then the paid subscription tiers were I think $25 and $80 per month. And when I say I think, it's because I was able to learn about the tool, but it wouldn't let me actually activate and use the tool. And again, I thought it was me at first until I started looking like, why is this not working? So something to note about this technology that's generated by AI, like with anything else, is sometimes as fast as they come is as fast as they go. And I'm not really sure what the reason it's on pause or possibly being sunsetted is right now. It could be funding, any number of things, but it did seem to have a lot of features that would be useful. The thing about Sonara AI is that it was meant to also apply for the jobs for you. And so we were just going to be looking at the job search element, but that is something that um, not a lot of tools actually have. So we will put a pin in Sonara and check back and see how they were doing in a couple of weeks, and maybe they are back online.
Okay, so shout out to me for not picking a better tool to review.
Well, and that's what's crazy. It's like that wasn't that long ago
Oh
before,
yeah, that's
we
true.
realized that it's not. So, like I said, these things can happen fast. Um,
My
so
braid, you see my braids unbraiding on the one side.
I was wondering what that was. I was like, is
It's
that
my
a
hair.
headdress?
No, it's my hair. My hair is unbraiding.
I thought it was maybe the headrest of your seat, like you had a gaming chair or something like that.
Listen, you know, I've been having hair related challenges for the past like 2 weeks, and it's fine. I mean, it's fine. You know, we're not
We're gonna go with it. We're
keep
gonna
on
go with
moving, don't stop. No, just like Soul said. Yeah, keep on moving,
it.
keep on moving,
Um,
don't stop. No, hands of time.
well,
Sorry. Yeah. So no, I enjoyed it, but I'm a nerd, and this is one, like I said, one of those things that was more closely related to my profession. So I got a kick out of it to see how job seekers are going to go about using it. But one thing I wanted to ask you, and I know we are close on time, was as a job seeker, like how do you feel about having to like type in information? And you mentioned like filling out that assessment was kind of like, oh God, like get it over with. Like the same way when you're applying for a job, you're like, I uploaded my resume, now I got to enter all this stuff. So like, what was that experience like for you as a job seeker to be like kind of in control, but like leaving it up to AI to say, hey, go find me jobs?
um, I think this is just my opinion from this perspective, but curious if people have any thoughts on her question. Please feel free to
Yeah,
drop in
please.
messages or send us comments and things like that. For me, it's all a matter of what are the outcomes. So happy
Mm,
to be specific with prompts and answer your questions and all of those things. You're looking for a job, you would have to interview, right? So it's like, okay, if this is part of the process, great, if the outcomes are worth it. So if you spend that time and enter your preferences and do an assessment, like you were mentioning with Adzuna, the outcome, the output of the tool, if they're still giving you jobs that are in Houston and you're in Florida and they're not
yeah.
remote, that would be disappointing, right? So if it's giving you something that is specific and the results are useful, then it's like, okay, ask as many specific questions as you can. Um, you might look up and you're like, okay, it gave me the top 3 jobs that are perfect for me, and now you can confidently go off into, the sunset. But if it's still giving you 300 jobs and none of them are exactly what you're looking for, now you feel like you may have wasted some time.
That's fair. That's fair. So we did job search tools this week. Do you want to stick with that for next week too? Or do
Yeah.
some, or maybe up it a little bit and do the job matching tools? Maybe bring in a few job
Okay.
matching tools. All right. So tune in next week for job matching tools. Make sure you check out those sites we mentioned today for yourself. They were again LinkedIn, Talent Prize, Adzuna, and Sonara, but maybe go to Sonara first, according to Tia. It might not be there when you get there. And also, please, please, please complete the survey so that we make sure that we are bringing you the tools that you are interested in. Thank you again for joining us for another episode of AI Tools for Job Seekers. I am Kirsten. That is Tia. And we will see you next week. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.